Hi everybody, my name is Barry Schwartz and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, June 7th, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com over the past week. First up, I posted the big Google Webmaster Report. I do this once a month, and it goes through all the major changes that happened over the past week or so. Specifically, the big things we had a couple algorithm shifts not confirmed, some Google News updates and Google Trends updates. The Google Post feature supports video uploads. There's a bunch of other things that we discussed, including the dynamic rendering solution that's coming out in the future with Google around JavaScript, how Google had to defend the search snippets and the changes in the lengths, a feature to submit questions to Google, as well as how Google barely uses personalization in search. So definitely take a look at that if you were missing the past month or so. Lots of good things to discuss there. This week has been pretty slow, so let's go through it fairly quickly. I know you guys got lots of stuff to go through, so let's do that. Google Search Console may do away with the meta descriptions. All this fight about the snippets and meta descriptions and lengths and so forth that Google has to deal with. And people are saying, well, you have it in the Google Search Console. It's a feature. It shows you in the Google Search Console. It shows you right in this Google Search Console HTML improvements when some say your meta descriptions are too long or too short or too whatever. And because of that, Google basically is saying, you know what, you're right. It doesn't really help your SEO to have longer or shorter meta descriptions. It doesn't help you rank any better or any worse. So maybe we'll just do away with these meta descriptions that you see over here in the HTML improvements, and you won't need it. And that's what Danny Sullivan said. He said over here, as you can see here, but even these generated flags are not where we want to focus. So they will not migrate to the new Google Search Console. And that's Danny Sullivan saying that. John Mueller kind of hinted at it, but he didn't really say it. But Danny Sullivan, who now is at Google, did say that. Google News confirmed removing or deprecating, killing off number of Google News publisher features. Specifically, as we discussed in the past, they got rid of editor's pick. We discussed this a couple months ago or a month ago. The standout tag or the standout and original source tags are gone. Also, Google said they got rid of the ability to highlight mobile apps in the Google News Publisher Center and the news crawl error tool in Google Search Console. Well, as of yesterday, I was still able to see news crawl errors in Google Search Console crawl errors, as you can see there. And also in the Google News Publisher Center, I still had my mobile apps linked to the actual publisher site, which is interesting. So again, maybe this is coming, maybe it's going forward. I'm not exactly sure, but Google has confirmed removing a number of Google News Publisher features. This is an interesting one. It deserves a little bit of time. So as you know, Google doesn't really always confirm algorithm updates and so forth. But what John Mueller said in a Webmaster video a week ago, so less than a week ago, he basically said if you see a drop in a specific day or so, it's typically not related to a technical change you made, unless it's like you're blocking Googlebot from crawling your website. If it's like a technical change, it's probably something that's going to happen gradually over time. So if you change the HTML sitemap, you add a bunch of new pages, you change structure of your site, that usually takes a gradual time over the course of weeks and months to see a gradual, if it's something you've done bad, a gradual decline in your search traffic over that time. But if it's an algorithmic change, usually you'll see a change happen immediately. So if you see other people complaining about it, he said in the forums that they saw their site drop and you saw your site drop, it's probably an algorithm change, you said. Not always, but probably, and so forth. It's definitely interesting to take a look at that. I have the actual snippet there of the conversation as well as the link to exactly what he's saying when he starts. So definitely take a look at that. Very, very interesting talk there. This week, a lot of people have been complaining about the Yoast plugin. A few months ago, basically, there was a bug in the Yoast plugin which basically generated a lot of confusion in your sitemap files as well as your attachments in the WordPress system around generating pages that were low quality. Basically, the plugin did not automatically forward attachments to the original source, which may result in confusing Google. But at the same time, from how I understand how Google works, this would generate tons of junk pages or low quality pages, but it wouldn't be a bug that would actually happen overnight. A lot of people are saying this issue caused a lot of downgrading in their rankings. Google themselves said it didn't, at least in the mass case of most people using the Yoast plugin. It did maybe happen to a bunch of people, but there's a lot of controversy around this plugin in terms of what this specific bug attributed to. They fixed the bug. It should be fine in the long run. The question is, again, did it have actual SEO impact in a negative way for a bunch of publishers that were using the Yoast plugin? There's a lot of debate about that. Google is debating it. Yoast is debating it. The SEO community is debating it. So definitely take a look at that if you do use that plugin. Google says sometimes we pick up the wrong date. This is ongoing stuff, and they show the wrong date in the snippet. Usually, Google said it's not SEOs trying to trick us into the wrong date because there's no organic search benefit to having a different date in the organic search results. Obviously, Google News does have some type of benefit towards it, but John Mueller said it's usually not SEOs trying to trick them. It's usually Google themselves picking up the wrong date either in the comments area or in the article or whatever. Google said regular crawling is not a requirement for ranking. If you have a page that's crawled once every year because it's an old page, that's fine. That page could still rank pretty well in the Google search results. You don't need to change or have that content crawled so often. Sorry about that. The Google Site command with an additional query or search operator can return knowledge panels and Google definitions. It's very interesting. So you can see here, you do a search for site, SEOroundtable.com, and in the URL algorithm, up comes the dictionary and a knowledge panel. This is found by Glenn Gabe. Not sure what that means or anything. It's just pretty interesting. It doesn't really mean anything per se, but it's just interesting to see. Google job postings now, at least from the Search Console perspective, pulls from Weblight search results. Nothing you really need to know about outside of that it may show you an increase in clicks and impressions in your job postings in Google Search Console, but it's just an interesting point to know if you are using that. Google says changing the word order of the content in your title tags, just shifting the words around, should have no impact on your SEO and rankings, but don't go ahead and change it and wait and see what happens in terms of your click-through rate and so forth, and your conversions. You should probably test it first with search ads or social media ads and so forth, as opposed to testing it in the organic search, because that could take a long time and it could have maybe an impact, maybe not. Google's saying not. Google My Business dashboard is for agency. The agency-specific dashboard in the Google My Business agency dashboard is now live. So if you are an agency, you can actually manage lots of more locations, make it more efficient for you to manage your customers' data and so forth. So definitely take a look at that. Google Post has officially added the ability to post for 2 new categories, additional to what's new and to events. You're able to actually post offers and products, and they all give you a little bit more data to add based on what you're selecting. So definitely take a look at that. And if you are posting Google product data, there's a new tab that will show up now in your Google Business post or listing, in your Google Business card. So next to post is a new category called products, which will actually show over there as well. So that's pretty interesting as well. Google is testing a new interface as well for Google Posts. Google is constantly testing different things here, especially around newer products they're serving. And here you can see this is a new interface to show Google Posts, like a grid-like interface, also a carousel-like interface, and also view a simple hyperlink to see that information. So Google's constantly testing this information as well. Google Post is for the Stanley Cups. It was very, very interactive. Again, this is like a special Google Post feature. But as you can see from Morty Oberstein's tweet, try to play it, see if it works. That basically it has this really cool interactive. It's not playing. This really cool interactive. Here you go. So watch that. It's really, really, really interactive, as you can see there, and really takes you through various things. So here's it's like AMP pages and videos and stories and so forth. So it's pretty cool what Google's doing there as well. Google is testing video carousels in the desktop search results again. We saw this a few months ago, and then maybe even a year ago, where they're showing video carousels. I don't know if it's a test or if it's starting to roll out. But now there's these new videos, which they showed in this desktop results as well, but it's in carousel format, so you can actually go ahead and carousel through those or slide through those things on desktop, not just on mobile. People have been complaining about the Google Maps timeline disappearing. So if you ever use Google Maps the app on iPhone or Android, it is tracking where you're going, and it actually builds this map of your history of where you've been traveling around the world. A few weeks ago, it stopped tracking you, or it actually deleted a lot of historical data. Google was posted about it 2 days ago, saying we're aware of it, we're working on a fix. I believe starting this morning, Google people have been noticing a fix to their data that was missing. Google AdWords added a new feature called to Google Sheets, an add-on to Google Sheets, which lets you quickly download data into Google Sheets so you could actually use it very quickly. Definitely take a look at that. And Bing Ads is disallowing recreational gun ads and also gun accessory ads. So if you are using Bing Ads to promote recreational guns as well as gun accessories, that attachable gun accessories, then you are no longer able to do so. In any event, thanks so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable, SEOroundtable.com over the past week. Again, today is Friday, June 7th. Everyone have a great weekend, and hopefully I'll see some of you at XMX Advanced next week. Be well. Bye.